What is up, YouTube? This is Piccolo the Ibmore now. I've had a recent name change. Piccolo the Ibmore was a name I always wanted to pick out, but YouTube wouldn't let me. So now I go by Piccolo the Ibmore. And I'm still handing out these red pills like senzu beans. So anyway, now most people in the manosphere usually speak on single mothers. And me personally, I've never dealt with single mothers. I mean, some of you guys may consider me lucky, but I have zero experience on single mothers. And I wouldn't speak on something I have zero experience with. But I decided I'm going to make this a little different. I'm going to speak also on single fathers. So I'm sure you read the title of this video. And let me be clear. I'm not putting the two genders up against each other. Because, I mean, let's be real, this is a Ibmore channel. And you know which side I'm going to root for. And you know I don't think women are my equal. I'm just simply telling the difference between a single mother and a single father. So, when it comes to single parenthood, there are certain factors that parents have to deal with, single parents have to deal with, which I'm not gonna really delve into. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna compare single mothers and single fathers when it comes to these 5 topics, which is court system, mate selection, dating, the child, and being a deadbeat. So I'm gonna speak on these topics and how each parent would have to deal with them. So first, court system. Now, when it comes to the court system, we already know that it's heavily stacked against the father, as if the father is incompetent of being a parent. They just give the child to the mother by default, and the mother could be a crackhead. Now, the single mother will get all the benefits and then some. Now, we already know that about 90% of the time, they're already going to get custody. Like, it's rare that a single mother will lose full custody of their kids. Sometimes it's half custody. But yeah, they usually get custody. And, you know, this is every man's worst nightmare. And every woman's dream. But child support. They always get child support. And there's cases where they'll get 50-50 custody and child support. Like, what kind of shit is that? Where they do that at? Like, how's a man supposed to take care of his kid when he's giving his money to the baby mother? Especially when they have shared custody. Like, are you fucking serious? And not only that, but even if they're low on money, they have custody and child support, but Big Daddy government is still there to help him. Now, when it comes to men trying to get custody of their kids, they had to fight tooth and fucking nail. Like, it's insane. And they'll just fight tooth and nail just to get drunk custody or joint custody or just to see their kids on fucking weekends. And don't even get me started on child support. Like, have you ever seen a man's pay stub on child support? It's insane. They say they take 17%, but it's more like 70%. And you know what happens when you don't pay your child support? They take your license away. Nigga, how am I gonna work? What if I'm a Uber driver or a truck driver or whatever? Like, how am I gonna get to work? And if I get pulled over by the cops from trying to work, then I automatically go to jail. But that's okay. They want the man to go to jail. They need the father out the house. And it's not even 18 years anymore. It's until the kid goes to college. All right, let's say you have a 22-year-old kid who graduated college. You'll still have to, and decides to go to grad school, you'll still have to pay child support. Are you fucking serious? And what if that kid's not even yours? What if you have a DNA test saying this kid is not yours? You still gotta pay. Come on, man. I've had single mothers tell me that kids are expensive. I don't believe them. I think they're full of shit. I've had fathers tell me I'd rather be raising a kid than be on child support. And I actually believe them. I believe it's cheaper to raise a child than to be on child support because you're not giving your life away to some woman. So, fellas, if you're a single dad and you're about to go through a custody battle, well, I'd approach it like a boxing match. You gotta protect yourself at all times because she might hit you with anything. She might bring up some shady part about your past, which nobody knows about, just to use it against you. And, as for the mothers, and she may do some grimy shit, like use your child support to take her new nigga out. Yeah, your hard earned money is feeding another man, or paying for his Jordans, or whatever. I mean, we already know what it is. Let me get on to the next topic, and that is mate selection. Now, men are simple creatures. We see it, we like it. When it comes to choosing our baby mama, it'll be someone we were somewhat in a relationship with, and or someone we know well but not well enough because women do have layers, and men go for physical appearance. So they gonna uh, go for a woman, you know, with a nice set of chest and a good backside and a pretty face. And they're gonna sing that Kendrick Lamar outro. Girl, I want your body, want your body, 'cause of that big old fat ass. Girl. A woman like that will make me shoot a special beam cannon real quick and then boop, a Piccolo Jr. And now my life's a living hell. Oh, and fellas, you gotta be careful with the type of woman you pick. Like an attractive woman, because sometimes a woman is too attractive for their own good. And they might be so attractive that it's crazy. They're crazy. They cray cray. But of course, you don't notice it because they look good. They got a nice ass and some nice suckable titties, and they got a pretty face. And you start to fall in love. Us guys, we're pretty gullible. We're gullible enough to fall in love, like there's such a thing. And then once you get her pregnant, that's when she turned into a whole fucking different beast. It's kind of like the movie The Mask. Next thing you know, when she's pregnant, she starts to turn into the succubus and starts beating her chest like an ape and starts pounding on you. And usually, the reason for getting pregnant is usually something dumb. Like, oh, I thought she was on the pill. Like, my cousin fell for the pill trap. And, sometimes it does happen by accident. You wear a trash bag too big and you happen to fall out of it. Now, as for single mothers and how they become single mothers, well, they spread their legs for a certain guy. Now, they'll usually go for a guy who's a little cute or whatever, got a little swag, says a bunch of sweet nothings in her ear, and then she's gonna get sprung, get caught up in a moment, and one night her parents aren't home. She'll invite them over. They'll be listening to Trey Songz or The Weeknd or the Drake while Netflix is on in the background. They're not really watching anything. I mean, they're just quote unquote Netflix and chilling. And then they start kissing, and I'm not gonna run the play by play, but one thing leads to another. So, you know, Drake is playing in the background, or The Weeknd, whatever, and she likes the song, and then she has an idea. She's like, wait, no, I wanna feel you, all of you. And that's how she gets pregnant. He gave her all. Yeah, I mean, you would hope it works out for the two, but it typically doesn't because they clearly weren't ready for the child. Or, usually, mothers, like, let's say if it's a succubus, she'll pick someone just as destructive as she is. Basically, like a thug or a ain't shit nigga, quote unquote. So, she's stuck with a baby with an ain't shit nigga, and then she's gonna complain that he's a deadbeat. And niggas ain't shit. You know the whole shebang. And yes, I asked myself, well, didn't you know that when you got with him? So, but you know how these mothers be. They lack accountability for their bad intuition and decision making. So it's usually the man's fault that she went and busted wide open. You ever hear a woman say, "I got pregnant by accident," and you be thinking, "What? Did you trip and fell on some dick?" But like if a man was to say he got pregnant, a girl pregnant by accident, they'll look at him like he's incompetent. Like, what are you, Trey Songs? You went swimming, you dived in, and then got a girl pregnant? Did you go swimming in the sea of puss? Or the pussy? But anyway, fellas, you gotta practice self control. Or protect your seed. Or get rid of your seed. And get a vasectomy. That's what I plan on doing. Anyway, let me get on to the next topic, and that is dating. Now, you would think that dating as a single father is much easier as a single mother because single mothers are looked as a pariah. But you can never underestimate the heart of a simp. Now, I can't think of any pros when it comes to dating a single mother because it's unnatural. Men naturally want their own. Hell, not even lions would take on a single mother. Once they take another lion's pride, they kill that male's children and then inseminate the mother. Now, I can understand if the father is dead. Okay, that's more understandable. Or the father's not present. But if you're dealing with a baby mama and she's in cahoots with her baby father, then that's like being in a threesome with another man. Now, let me get this straight. You would have to take care of another man's kids because single mothers are a package deal, worry about the father, and have to pay for them kids too? Come on now. Now, me personally, I actually had a stepdad, and he was a good guy. I also had a stepmom. She was a bitch. But yeah, my stepdad's family was really nice. Maybe a little too nice. So if I was a single mother, I'd try to date a single father because that relationship would be more fruitful. Because if you try to go after a single man with no kids, then it's a powder keg waiting to blow up. But if it's with a single father, then it could be more like a Drake and Josh situation. Now, when it comes to dating single fathers, most of these women have daddy issues anyway. And guess what? Women like calling men daddy. especially when they got kids, especially the Spanish woman. Yes, Papi, yes. Now, a woman dating a single father won't have to worry about that man's kids, won't have to worry about paying for it or whatever. They may have to worry about the baby mama, but I think they like the confrontation with the baby mama because women are creatures of conflict. They like the idea of fighting for a man against another woman. I don't know, it just seems to turn them on, makes the man seem more valuable. Which he is, because men are the prize. And like I said before, women biologically and instinctively know that a man can have more than one woman. And typically, men don't really get custody of their kids anyways, so it's not like they'll be living with them. And you have to make sure that the woman isn't fighting for the father's attention against the daughter because that could turn bad. So yeah, man, when it comes to SMV, single fathers have a higher SMV, but you can never underestimate the heart of a simp. Anyway, let me get on to my next topic, and that is the child. Now, we should give single mothers some credit for taking care of the child because there are some mothers who are considerate and passionate and sacrificing, compromising for their child. They really try to do best by their child and not trying to create a bad environment for them because there's other mothers that try to use the child to try to extort extort money from the father, do child support. And there's others mothers that try to take away their child from the father just to spite the father. And there's also other mothers who would try to teach their child how to be men, to try to teach their boys how to be men. Now, fathers know what we can and can't do. Like, you don't see fathers trying to teach their daughters how to handle a menstrual cycle. Well, maybe Caitlyn Jenner. Alright, let me stop. But kids out of single father homes are usually more stable than kids from single mother homes. I mean, statistically speaking, because kids from single mother homes, well, guys from single mother homes, have too much feminine energy, and women from single mother homes, well, they have daddy issues and they're more likely to be promiscuous. And last but not least, being a deadbeat. Now, I always ask myself this: what does a deadbeat dad and a woman who got an abortion have in common? They both didn't want kids. And what's the difference? One's running from their shame and the other one is getting rid of it. Now, when a woman doesn't want to be a mother, she gets all the support in the world and is encouraged to sacrifice her baby to Molech. Now, when a father doesn't want to be a dad, well, he's ostracized and shamed. Oh, you're a deadbeat. You should die. But of course, they're going to force that man to be a father regardless. Because I don't think men can bail on their kids as easily as they used to. Back in the 1940s, they just left and went to another town. And, couldn't call them, reach them, nothing. Nowadays, in the days of surveillance, they'll track you down, especially if you're on child support. Especially if you're on child support. They'll make you pay. And women are just getting abortion like it's no big deal. And honestly, I find it a little disgusting. They'll try to say, oh, it's just a clump of cell. Bitch, you're just a clump of cell. It's just a fetus. Bitch, you were a fetus. We all went through the 9-month journey. What makes you different than them? The only difference is you actually made it. Your parents carried out their pregnancy term. Dumb cunts. Like, honestly, I'll have more respect for you if you just admit you're doing something wrong. Like, yes, you're in a bad situation, stuff like that, but just admit it. Getting an abortion is wrong. You're taking away a life. And women always love to use that rape excuse. Hey, I'm not saying it's an excuse, but they try to use a small demographic of women who actually get raped and pregnant and get an abortion. They try to use that small demographic to represent a whole. Like, what about rape and incest? Like, okay, yeah, you're gonna have to cut the bad fruit off the tree, but that's not every woman. And the deadbeat dads are no better, honestly. Well, at least they can fix their mistakes, or at least try to fix it. If they've been missing a portion of their child's life, they can potentially go back and make amends. And there are actual mothers who've actually left their family behind. But honestly, it seemed like they turned out fine without the mother, just spiteful towards her, which is understandable. So yeah, hey, it is what it is. Life's cruel. You just gotta make the best with what you got. So, fellas, leave a like, comment, subscribe to this channel, and I'm out.